Turn me up, Trent.
What's going on, everybody? This is 3&P News, and I'm Skipper B. Bartholomew. Thank you so much for being on our show today. Today we got none other than the mayor of Morrisville himself. Give it up for Big Homie Wes, everybody.
Hey, what's happening, y'all?
Yeah, so Wes, how did we get here, man? I mean, you started doing music how long ago?
I mean, I've been doing music over a decade now. Yeah, when I first started, recording and getting into it, making beats.
So first started making beats. What was the drive in it that made you want to do it?
Yeah, so actually with the beat making, me and my buddy Capital E used to record down in his basement. We would just, like what everyone else does, steal beats off YouTube, find type beats, whatever. But then it gets to the point when you start to want to own your music, where, I was broke, no money to buy beats. So I figured my best option was to start learning how to make them myself,
Amen to that.
Learn a little bit about music theory and whatnot. Not saying I'm really know that much about it, but
and you went to
seemed
school
to make it
for
work. Yeah, so I actually did attend Linden for one semester. I did audio engineering, kind of got like a little crash course, which was actually super helpful because it really taught me all the different vocab that I use all the time now to talk to other engineers and discuss things with artists and stuff. So it was super helpful, but yeah, I didn't finish that degree in audio engineering.
You could have been lying to me because the way that you be working on a guy named Skipper Black Bart's album, the way he describes his album is it's a perfection, masterpiece, and he gives it up for the producer. So give it up for producer. You know what I'm saying? But Wes, what have you been up to for the past couple months?
Yeah, the past couple months, it's been a lot of performances, a lot of recording, moved into a new studio space.
Nice.
Back in April, I believe it was. So yeah, kind of getting used to that. And, that just really elevated my grind and made me want to work so much harder. When you're investing money in like rent in a space like that, it makes you want to get the most out of it. It feels a lot more real when you're outside of your home or anything like that, your bedroom studio.
Oh, absolutely. They always say a change of pace, a change of scenery will help the creativity. So now that you are doing this, are you doing this full time now?
Yeah, at this point, it's full time right now, man. Every single day in the studio.
That's awesome, man. See, it takes a lot of people, it takes people a lot of time to reach that point, and congratulations that you have.
Thank you.
So, where are some of the most favorite places that you performed in over your past career?
Yeah, so there's been some really cool, festivals out of state that have been awesome. But recently, one of my favorite places to perform has been Montreal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've gone up there maybe 4 or 5 times. Got a show coming up later this month on December 16th with CY Southwest. It's a charity event, and that's going to be at Blue Dog. But yeah, Montreal is sweet, man. I just love the culture up there. Everything is, the street art is beautiful.
Nice.
Shorties are fine. You know what's up. Shout out.
So, you got some shows coming up this next month or a couple of months?
Yeah, so right now, what's right on the table is this Friday, going to be performing over at Rap Night in Burlington.
Okay.
With DJ Nasty. That'll be really cool. I'm going to do like a 20-minute set or something like that. I'm trying to see if I can bring Sam Guillen out because, he's been rolling with me, plays the bass on a lot of my songs. Yeah, they got that. Got the event December 16th up in Montreal with CY Southwest.
Nice.
And then on December 22nd, we're back in Morrisville, where I'm at right now, at Oasis Cafe Bar for Skipper Black Bart's debut album, Kali Yuga, release party, that I mixed and mastered, as Skipper B. Bartholomew was saying.
Well, that sounds all very interesting, especially that Kali Yuga one. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun down there. We call you the mayor of Morrisville for the simple fact of you're so popular out there.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's definitely like a little tongue-in-cheek. It's pretty funny, you know what I mean? Just like playing into that. But, honestly, man, like I got love for everyone out there, and you know, the support they give me is the reason why people are branding that and kind of running with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's kind of funny, honestly.
Hey, man, you gotta roll with a roll with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how it goes. So, earlier this past summer, we had a big party over at the Oasis Cafe Bar, and it was for your album release party.
Yep.
Would you describe your album? What's one word that you say about the album?
One word about the album. Different.
Okay, different.
Yeah, man.
Would you care to elaborate on what makes it so different?
Yeah, so with this album, it's all self-produced.
Okay.
You know, so I made all the beats, I wrote all the lyrics and everything. But then I also have my really good friend Samuel Guillen on the bass on every single track on this album. So, you know, there's not a lot of that, and that's always something that people will comment on at the end of shows. They'll be like, man, that was super cool. Like, you had your boy up there playing the bass live, and it really adds that level of musicianship to it that you don't often see at like a hip-hop concert, you know, where it kind of branches out from just, you know, yeah, just, you know, I don't know what to call it, but like programmed beats, you know, we're kind of bringing something a little different that, especially in Vermont, you know, live music and jam bands are so popular. Absolutely. So trying to kind of, you know, introduce a little different element, and that's why I said different. Okay. You know, like you never know what does different mean, but yeah, that's what I'd say. You know, just kind of a different approach to what everyone kind of knows as hip hop and rap.
You got to keep it fresh, everybody. Keep it fresh. 3&P. We actually have your album here. We got you and Sam on this album. Who did the artwork for it?
So the artwork is actually by A.M. Turner Design.
Okay. Now,
so
continue.
She's a graphic designer out of Morrisville as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and she's been doing all my singles, my album artwork, front and back, all my show flyers from this year. Okay. So that's been like over a dozen show flyers that I've had her make.
Nice. Now, on this Higher Calling album, Big Homie West will be performing a song called In the Clouds. So go ahead, sit back, relax, and let his Big Homie West serenade you for the next, 3-4 minutes? Sound good.
Check, check. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Cold sweats, fight my demons. Says she hates me, I don't know what she's thinking. As of lately, I don't know what I'm feeling. Pink stripes plus the drinks multiplied by other things. Keep me in sync, liquid dimes. My standards high, throw a smile while I'm passing by. Mean look from a guy, might smack him 5. Back my thoughts could have it all, but that ain't right. Am I wrong? I'm a dog. Spit game leisurely. If not this one, next time she'll leave with me. Spit game leisurely. If not this one, next time she'll leave with me. On tour, come and see it, G. Rockin' shows, we're on a spree. No, it's not free. You heard the freestyle. Money please, you heard the freestyle. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Check me out, y'all. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Went the extra mile for you. Wipe my side those files for you. Put the time in. Got it dialed for you. Waited a while for you. Just to see how it played out. Shooked out, stayed down. Made the move, knew I could do it. If I wasn't right, could've told me cool it. High on life, it had me booted. Remember nights, thought I lost it all. Dreamt up a crib, size of the Taj Mahal. Last for infinity, that type of energy. Seeing symmetry when it's aligned. We'll be fine, kicked back and climb. To roll up, elevate my mind. Catch a hold of something, pray. We stay entwined, but in the mo, if it comes, it goes. Was just my turn, lesson learned. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. One more time, y'all. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Keep wishing I never been chicken. These goons the poultry, acting like they isn't. Fact check, my records go back well before they had rep, before a lab sesh. Over most deaf, I hold my skill. Now I made the build and wrote the fill. Do it at will, not bad for being from the Ville. Won't chase cheap thrills, the goal's to last forever. Mashing letters, create the message, and instead of hitting send, press record again so it's clear what I meant. Instead of hitting send, press record again so it's clear what I meant. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. Let's go, y'all. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. It's for y'all, Vermont. Talking down, I can't hear it. I'm too high in the clouds. One more time, y'all. Big homie West. Appreciate y'all rocking with me.
Everybody give it up for Big Homie West. That was something great right there. That was amazing. Man, how did you come up with that song in the first place?
In the clouds?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, a lot of my songwriting process, what I'll do is I'll just, make a beat that I like. And actually, it's funny, man. In the clouds, totally kind of spaced on this before, but this song has had an incredible journey. So probably about 5-6 years ago, I had first recorded it, produced it. This was before I was working with Sam. And I had actually, recorded it, had the song done, sent it off to an engineer, had it mixed down, wasn't getting there, you know what I mean? Just wasn't it. And so I kind of shelved it, one of those times where I was discouraged. I'm like, I have this song that I love so much and I think it's so cool. But really, in hindsight, I'm glad that happened, because then later, a few years, we're working on the album, trying to fill out songs, figure out what's going to be on it. And I kind of stumble upon In the Clouds. And, all my verses, or I had 2 verses there. It was the first and the third verse, plus the choruses. And I was like, we got to finish this, man. We got to take this to the studio. So that's what I did. I brought it to another studio in Morrisville and had Sam lay down a bass line. And actually in the, 2 or 3 days ahead of that, had already booked a studio session, had written what is now the second verse. I was like, man, this whole song is like completely elevated to a new place. And in between, since when I had first made the song to this point when I was getting ready to record it, I was like, man, my production value has totally increased. Like, my beats are way stronger. I have the MPC live now is what I was thinking. So then I took all the source sounds from the original production of it and flipped those into what you now hear as In the Clouds that I performed, and, that you can hear on all streaming platforms. And yeah, man, so that song has had a really interesting journey. And another one where I was like, I'm not giving up on this, and I don't care what the struggles are. If, people or things are going to get in my way of accomplishing this, then, we about to go 3&P style and crush that. You know what I mean?
3&P, baby. You ain't gonna want to go against these people. I don't even know who they really are, but they sound scary. 3&P, baby. So yeah, thank you for the performance, man. It was really nice. So you own your own music business, correct?
Yeah. So actually, I have a company. It's called West Productions, and so my name Wes, but it also means worth every second. Shout out my boy Zach on that one, man. Zach Williams gave me that abbreviation. First time I met the dude to talk about DJing a set for him, he was like, yo, Wes, worth every second. Since then, been running with it.
Everybody seems to got these abbreviations these days, man. I think I need to get me one. 3&P is cool, but we got to get one for Skipper B. Do you have merch people can buy anywhere?
I got these albums available on Bandcamp. You can find them on there. You can hit me up at Big Homie West on Instagram to get plugged in too. And then I also just got some of these T-shirts in. Big Homie West logos. You know the vibes. You're going to see this logo everywhere. real soon.
Yeah, see, man, everybody got the T-shirts, man. It's all about expanding your brand. And the best way to do that is by making somebody wear it. So, that being said, get some merch from Big Homie West's website.
Yeah, you can find it on bighomiewest.com or also my Bandcamp. I haven't put the tees up, or these specific T-shirts, on my website yet.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find all that. You can also find beats on there if you're an aspiring rapper. Check out that on the beat shop section as well.
Nice. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm going to have to do some of that rapping stuff you guys call it. So, what are a couple takes that you have when it comes to, I don't know, obstacles that you have to go through, and whether it's being able to get a show that's not one that you're throwing, or, you know, just trying to get into a circle of people that are musicians that you know that they're doing something. You just want to get involved a little bit. What are a couple obstacles you go through?
Couple obstacles, yeah, with trying to get events. I mean, you know, I think the biggest one in the beginning, of course, is just like not having connections. You know, so when you're outside looking in, it's, you know, kind of difficult to picture how to, you know, inject yourself into that.
Absolutely.
You know, but yeah, luckily, man, I mean, you know, I've met a lot of really great people putting on events myself, and you know, kind of giving opportunity first to people, and then, you know, when something comes up, for example, one time my buddy K-Rhyme up in Montreal hit me up and was like, hey man, by the way, they're looking for a performer for this show, and you know, like he thought of me because of us working together in the past already. So that was just like, you know, kind of, that's one avenue, you know, kind of provide opportunity for other people.
Nice.
And then that'll kind of help you like build a reputation and might get your name, you know, into more rooms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another thing too is just like, you know, popping out and being like a fan first. Not necessarily like, oh, you got to like go and show fake love or whatever, because that's never the answer. But, you know, going to events and just meeting people within the scene. And, you know, like we were talking about my painting stuff. Yeah, so that's something I actually just started last December. So it's almost been a year of me kind of messing around with that, you know, being creative and something different than, you know, music. It's definitely a good way to, you know, express yourself. And yeah, and I have fun with it, man. I actually have a piece up right now over at RL Photo in Burlington. It's the first time I ever premiered any artwork. Piece is called Evolution. Thanks, man. I was able to do that through connections I had like in the art world through the music, you know, so I kind of used a similar approach where I was like, okay, like what do I need to do to kind of get in this game if I want to do that? And I'm like, I'll just show up, see what it's about, and then, you know, figure out how do other people submit work? How do other people submit to, you know, get on playlists, or to, how do you get your name in the hat for getting booked for shows? But yeah, you know, it's all about building relationships with people too. Kind of getting your name out there, becoming, like creating an identity before, you know, approaching. Because if they're like, oh, you've been here a bunch of times and you rap, and it's like, yeah, I rap, man, I'm ready right now, you know, then that's like a whole different approach to maybe just hitting someone up on the internet, you know what I mean? There's so many times where, even as a show promoter, I have people hit me up and they're like, yo, man, when can I get on? And I'm like, yeah, sure, send me some music. Oh, I don't have any music recorded. Okay, or... You know, it's like, it's always, yo, you have a show for me? Yo, you have a show for me? Like, it's like, no, I don't. It's like, okay. Like, have you ever come to one of my training grounds, hip-hop open mics and performed? You know, those are the questions I'm going to ask, or what I'm going to look at and be like, so when I provide these opportunities, you know, for like an open forum for any performers, do you come take advantage of that? Or do you just want to be on the, you know, events that I curate, you know, specifically for the artists that I've been rocking with? You know what I mean? So that's like, you know, that's what you got to do. You got to look out for those opportunities. And when something comes up, jump on that. Honestly, like, kind of like after COVID, what really helped me get my foot in the door with now Oasis, for example, was showing up to their open mic events that they had.
Okay.
So me and Sam would pop out there. I'd plug in the MPC, play beats, and rock the house. And they would be like, wait, like no one's ever brought hip hop to these open mics in Vermont. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it just totally blew their minds. And yeah, you know, it kind of shows people you're for real too. It's like, yeah, I don't need to be, you know, propped up and on this pedestal, and like, I don't need you to do all these things for me to perform. I'm going to go and perform because it's just what I do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's kind of the mentality, is like kind of put yourself in there, and then all of a sudden you're meeting all these artists from that, you know, practice different genres and stuff as well. You kind of test your grit, you know, when you're like up there. You might show up, hey, I don't have my beats, but, you know, we got a drummer and we got my boy Sam on the bass. Someone want to play guitar, and you never know. It's just kind of that Vermont jam band style, but also I'm showing up as myself and what I do, rapping and, you know, bars.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of character in a person to actually be able to withstand those types of obstacles, for sure. And you bring up Sam a lot. Is that somebody you've known for a long time?
Yeah, man. So me and Sam both graduated the same year at People's Academy.
Okay.
He rolls with me every single show that he can make it to. But, you know, our relationship was just friends, you know, hanging out. We're like kicking it for, you know, a long time. And then I'm like, oh, like, you know, he knew I was rapping. I knew he played the bass, but it's like we're just like kicking it, chilling. I was like, yo, man, like, you want to like check out this song I'm working on? And, oh, like, let me play some bass. And like, oh, that sounds pretty fire. Like, let's bring this to the studio. And then, you know, it's kind of one of those realizations where you're like, it's always been there, but just never tapped into it. But I also feel like that's why, you know, me and him work so well together, is because, you know, we know each other before the music. So the music is just like this other element where now we're able to lock in, and it just so turns out that people dig it. You know what I mean? I didn't really know what to expect, honestly. I was just like, hey, you know, like, this just seems cool. You know, we've also worked in a band together. It was like me, Sam, and a couple other cats, a keyboardist, a drummer, another vocalist. So kind of like already tried like doing that. So then this was almost like a reapproach, where I was, you know, producing the beats, and where I produce the beats and kind of take the lead on that. And then Sam gets on there. But yeah, you know, I'm not really sure. I didn't have any expectation. I was just like, hey, let's show up and do this, man. And then we did it. And then the reception was like really good. Nice. And then it's like, wait a second, we might as well just like totally dedicate our shows to this style and sound, you know, and continue to do that and just give people what they want. You know what I mean?
Nice. And I've personally heard this new album, and I do what he said. I do dig it as well. And go ahead, BigHomieWest.com. Go ahead and get yourself one of these albums, man. You guys are not going to want to miss it. For the artists out there, the new up-and-comers, can you describe what the difference between a rapper doing this as a hobby and somebody doing this as a business?
Yeah, sure. You know, I think it's really just a level of seriousness, dedication, and investment. If you're not serious about it, you're not investing. And if you're not investing, it's not your business. That's a good take.
Bars. Bars.
You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people do it as a hobby. I've done music as a hobby for such a long time too. But it does get to the point as you grow up, you get older, you have more responsibilities, things you got to take care of. It's, you know, if you're not focusing on the business aspect, it's hard to have longevity. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can like invest and not earn back.
Yeah.
So, you know, unless, it's just a hobby and you're just stacking gear in a studio, recording your music, which is totally cool, you know what I mean? Like, there's probably a lot of the world's greatest musicians just do it as a hobby. But yeah, I think that, once you start investing and taking your business seriously, registering a business to start collecting royalties from like PROs, DistroKid, or whatever, you know, platforms you use to distribute your music, like once you start to think like that, and like, how can I start getting some of this money back on my investment in studio time, gear, recording, you know, just my time in general I've spent recording songs, writing, working for other people, you know, and that's like the thing is, you know, no shade, anyone can do it as a hobby, and that's great, but at a certain point, you know, you kind of want the machine to start to feed itself. Absolutely. And that's when it becomes, you know, your business.
Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to getting into the business side of things, would you be able to explain some things that are taken away as if you were just doing it as a hobby? For example, Skipper Black Bart, when he was on here, he said that when he got into the business side, he lost all the passion in his music because of how he described it, how dirty the business is. What's something that you would take from it?
Yeah, you know, like especially this year, one of the biggest things I've learned by honestly constantly taking losses is to be really selective about who you do business with. You know what I mean? Not everyone's gonna, you know, have the same level of seriousness as you are about your business. You're going to possibly invest in the wrong people. And that's part of the learning process, too, is finding, who you can rely on. You know what I mean? To get things done, to be punctual. Because if you're taking it seriously and you're really pushing for that next level, you need people that are doing the same thing around you. Otherwise, you're going to suffer. Your business is going to suffer, and it's super discouraging. You know what I mean? When you invest time and money in things and it doesn't go your way, and you're like, you take a loss, you take an L, but you got to turn that to a lesson. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm looking at that. I'm like, okay, I've like suffered these losses and stuff, and if it's consistent, then it's something I'm doing. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm putting too much trust. I'm giving too much up front. You know what I mean? I'm not keeping that carrot dangling in front of someone to get a job done the way I would like for it to be done. And, I admit that my standards are high, but that's not going to change. And I don't want to compromise on my standards, and no one should compromise on their standards for their art or whatever they're working on, their passion is, whether it's a hobby or business at the end of the day. But yeah, it does kind of suck when you put your faith in someone to kind of get you back or cover the other half of the field, you know what I mean? And then it doesn't follow through, or it doesn't fall through, or it does fall through, and you're just kind of stuck there like, okay, now how do I move forward from here? You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, man, like, it is tough to take that, you know what I mean? And just be, okay, well, this is my business, and my only choice is to continue to push it. You know what I mean?
Hey, well, we only got about time for about one more question. Where can the people find you? What do you got coming up in the next couple weeks? And just spill it out, spill the beans.
Spill the beans, man. Yeah, so the next couple of weeks, you really just got those shows going on over in Burlington, following weekend, Montreal, then back in Morrisville. Keep a lookout for the new year, because, like, in this kind of, like, time, there's a lot of holiday stuff going on, you know what I mean? Try to kind of clear the plate a little bit. I mean, I say that even though we got shows every weekend. But you know what I mean? Just try to, like, take some time, reflect. Definitely keep an eye out for, February. We're over at the Rex. You know what I mean? If you go to my website, bighomiewest.com, right now you'll see all the shows for 2023. But that's soon going to flip over to 2024, and we're going to have to put some more numbers on the board. So definitely just, check that out. I got mad DJ sets that'll be happening too, different stuff like that. But, I don't know, you might not be seeing me as much as I try to just lock in on some new music and figure out where to go next.
Hey, man, that's all amazing stuff. Well, that's all for our time we got today. Thank you for coming to 3&P News today, everybody. And like I said, go ahead and check out bighomiewest.com. Check out the Higher Calling album, dog. And you already know, 3&P News, thanks for coming with us.